So this is Hubert here, and he was there when I first got out of prison after 13 years. So you were saying?
So I'm saying that the system did fail you at that time. You know, you were in a program that didn't really have the wraparound service and support that you needed to hit the streets, right? I remember when you got into that program, and it wasn't really nothing that I could give you.
Same.
Right.
And, you know,
Fine, we gotta work full time.
it just wasn't
Fine. Yeah, there's gonna be. Somebody gonna catch you.
And I kind of see that across the board right now. You know, I think that what people need in our prison is wraparound services.
Right.
You know, peer support, recovery support, and some kind of support to teach you how you work within the system. The system is very complex.
Yeah.
Very complex.
My thing about it was that there was no acclimation. You know, I mean, I was just thrown out from prison onto the streets, and I didn't know how to work a cell phone. There was drugs everywhere. It was 2022, so the fentanyl
Yes.
crisis was in the middle of it. And I remember getting out, and right outside the door, I seen my workout partner, and he was looking good. And I was like, "What's up with you, man?" He says, "I'm working." I was like, "Well, I need a job." And he was like, "Well, I got these blues, I got this clear, and I got this gun on my hip. I'll give it to you." And I didn't take it at the time, but within a week, that's what I was doing. Like, and that building that I was in was infested. Everybody was getting hurt.
It was.
Everybody was getting hurt. I was in a gang war too. I was flirting with the front desk girl, you know what I mean?
That's right.
She gave me her number and everything, and then the case manager dude started hating on me. But you know, I was a man, you know what I mean? I was a player. I was a hustler, you know what I mean? And
That's all you did.
so that's all I knew. And so when they put me back downtown in the middle of all of that, I was uncomfortable at first, but I acclimated real fast. And I remember listening to my music selling drugs, and I was like, I remember being on the street corner when I was a kid, and we had them little Walkmans, Sony Walkmans. Remember when those came out? You could listen to both sides without flipping it, right? And I remember having that, and that's what I used to do when I was a kid. And so, like, tell them how you see my transformation from me being pretty good in shape to being sucked up. Tell me.
How you doing?
Yeah, because I think what happened was I seen
So we doing it on the
reduction model not
23rd,
working.
but on the 26th, yeah.
I seen it not work.
Friday, Saturday this week.
And so when that's where I was
All right,
kind
see you there.
of, I was kind of torn, right? Because I'm a person of recovery, right? But I seen that you wanted to do something different, but you didn't know how.
Right.
And I couldn't find the support to get to you that you needed.
Right.
Right. I seen this great. It was a great program, but it was just housing first.
Right.
It wasn't recovery first. It was just housing first. We're gonna put you here so that you just won't be on the street. But basically, you just one step off the street because,
Right.
like you said, people were using
In the doorway.
in the doorway, in the building,
What's next door?
outside.
What's next door?
Yes, shelter.
Right.
So it's just madness. But that's the thing that I'm struggling with now, trying to figure out how can we get people to a place to where they can heal.
Right.
Heal.
I think that starts in the transition from getting out of prison. I think when you just put people out of prison, it makes it so you're in a culture shock. You know what I mean? You're not acclimated. A friend of mine, and you might know him, Kelly Goss, had these koi in his business and at his home, right? And so he had to acclimate the koi to the water. He couldn't just dump the koi from one water to the next, or else they would die.
Right.
Right? And so I think there needs to be some kind of acclimation program where we're slowly transitioning our last 6 months to a year getting out, where we can go out in the community and we can get in recovery and we can get a job. You know what I mean? Because I'm struggling to get a job because of my criminal record. You know what I mean? I've done some heinous things in my life, and that causes guilt and shame. So when I go to fill out an application, there's a fear. You know what I mean? What if they're not going to accept me?
So here's the key to that, right? I'm glad you said that because you're valuable, right?
Right.
Your experience is valuable.
Absolutely.
So sometimes, like I told a partner got out of prison, he had a sex offense.
Right.
So it was hard
That's
for
what I
him.
had.
So it was hard for him to get an apartment.
Right.
You know, it's just hard. It's incredibly hard. So I said, you need to buy a house.
Right.
So he's making the income to do that, right?
Yeah.
And he did that. So I hear you speak. So what you have, sometimes you got to take our experience and create something that you know that is needed to be able to put it in place for people that's coming out after you and have what you didn't have.
Right.
So that's the key. So that's your key.
Right, because the truth of the matter is, man, is that I died of a fentanyl overdose down there.
Right.
You know what I mean? I did a shot of meth that killed me.
Right.
And it was fentanyl. I was shot at twice by the drug dealers down there because I tried to collect some money that somebody tried to rip me off. Somebody tried to rip me off for $50. And
A little bit of money.
Right, a little bit of money.
Committing homicide.
Right, absolutely. No, but that's that mentality. Tell them about when you was out there in the game. You know what I mean?
So I'm an OG, right? So
he's triple OG. If I'm an OG, he's a triple OG.
So my when I use, I've been clean 15 years, right?
Yeah.
So I'm 63 years old, just turned 63. So I was getting high in 1980s.
When it came out.
So I was in the area of the rock cocaine,
Right.
crack houses. Some of the laws that are in place now were created because of my generation.
Right. So let me interrupt you there. So do you think that those crack laws made things better or worse?
Well, it made things worse because what happened was like now you can't get a job, right? So I've been in some places and some things that have kind of looked at that to address it, right? But now it's a different era, and it's a different drug, it's a different get down, right?
So let me ask you this: if you think they made, so if you think they stopped the amount of drugs coming in America instead of changing these laws, you know, people that make these laws, they live up in mansions on a hill. They don't know what it's like to be on Second and Burnside. They don't know what it's like to be on Union. You know, I remember when this is Union. You know what I mean? They're not from the hood. They don't know. How are they gonna make decisions based on
They can't.
white privilege?
They cannot.
Right?
They cannot. So that's the issue. If we want to go wider and broader with this situation, that's been the case because there's people that don't get their hands dirty. But see, what it really comes down. Here's what it really. I got to go after this. What it really comes down to is choice. If you look at the broad spectrum and say the system don't care, which it doesn't. But individually, you have to care about your life and what kind of changes you make in your life to help somebody else. That's what I had to do. Right? I had to make changes in my life so I could help other people. And that's been working for me.
So do you believe in God?
I do believe in God.
What about your other ones you
I believe
had?
that God allows us to come to Him when we're ready, right?
Yeah, that's
you know what I mean?
right.
And it's not forced, so it's not up.
Brother, how you doing?
You know what I mean? And
You
so
all right?
God changed my heart.
How you
know what I
doing?
mean? So I believe God is supposed to use this for a purpose, you know. And I go to a church called Walk After Christ, and they help me. You know what I
So you
mean?
find out right.
Right, so I found a higher power, and that higher power is giving me the strength to be able to do this, have the courage to do
That's
this.
right.
You know what I mean? Because I know that our testimony, our story has power. It can help change lives. You know
So I
what I mean?
appreciate you.
Right.
You're on the right track.
I'm trying, bro. I'm trying, man. Huh?
Pray for me.
Can we pray real quick?
I would prefer not to in this setting.
Right.
Okay,
This is
that's
a-
fair.
Absolutely, because they're doing
But I
their
appreciate
business
it.
thing.
Yeah.
Thank you, man.
No problem. All right. God bless you.
All right. God bless you. God bless you, man.
God bless you too. Y'all keep doing good work, okay?
Hey, if Trey's busy, we'll
Okay.
you know what I mean? I just,